Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. So, Awakened Shemira is here. My first impression is that she's pretty cracked. We'll have to wait and see, but I just think there's too much in her kit for her not to be good and absolutely crazy. I'm definitely keen to experiment her at low dupes as well because my free-to-play account, I went all in on Leica and I'm not regretting it because I do like Leica, but I kind of wish I could get Shemira maxed out. But hey, we are where we are. Let's go through her skills. We'll show you how she works. She looks crazy. She looks crazy. Wait, just for an example, let's take a look at this and you can get an idea. I always like testing these things. These are not a good representation of a test, but it's always nice just to see how viable a character might be from this sort of thing. You know, just start it themselves, ramp up to a couple characters, keep going on from that and stuff like that. And as you can see, Shemira is quite cracked in this sense. I think she's going to be crazy if you pull her in the early game. This is next level Awakened Souls, but yeah, I still think she's going to be great in the end game. But we'll look at her skills properly and stuff in a minute. But let's take a look. All right, once again, long ass descriptions. Now, some of the key things that we didn't have in the leaked ones by AFK Inside, some of the key things are here and it just looks really good. So passive, Shemira receives 20% less magic damage. When taking physical damage or damage that ignores defense, 70% is converted into magic damage. It's honestly not the biggest mitigation I've ever seen, but could be definitely useful in Scramble and stuff like that. But, you know, in campaign, it's still going to get hit hard. Active, Shemira wields the Soul Flame to unleash the power of the Lantern Chain, dealing 3 strikes of damage equal to 15% of her max health to all enemies. She also pulls the souls of the nearest and farthest enemy heroes to generate an ephemeral spirit that lasts for 5 seconds. The ephemeral spirit is basically just a statue that stands there and takes damage and passes the damage on. Ephemeral spirits have 50% of their heroes' health and 30% of their defense. When an ephemeral spirit takes damage, 70% is passed on to their hero, but the damage passed is in a single strike cannot exceed 50% of Shemira's maxed health. Up to 2 ephemeral spirits can be pulled out for each enemy hero. Now for this one, skills ups. Passive, Shemira's normal attacks reduce the target's current energy by 10%, and then after using Soul Siphon, Shemira launches 1 tortured soul at enemy heroes whose souls have been pulled out. Now the tortured souls will go through in this one. Passive, when an enemy hero suffers the effect that reduces their energy or prevents energy recovery, Shemira launches a tortured soul at them, dealing damage equal to 10% of their max health to the target and enemies in its path. The damage cannot exceed 10% of Shemira's max health, so it's not genuine max health damage, but still not bad. And the effect can only be triggered 3 times every 10 seconds. When a tortured soul deals damage, it heals the ally with the lowest health percentage for 7.5% of Shemira's max health. Got healing, team healing as well. Okay, so these are going to be the signature item upgrades. When an enemy hero takes damage from Tortured Soul 3 times, their defense is permanently reduced by 17.5%, and that can stack up to 4 times. We got a massive defense shred. Look at that. Now we got boss usage. When an enemy hero takes damage from a Tortured Soul 3 times, their energy recovery is permanently reduced by 20%, but that cannot 25%, and it cannot stack. For every 5 Tortured Souls Shemira launches, the next will be enhanced, reducing 100 extra energy upon dealing damage and preventing the target from recovering energy for the next 2 seconds. Then at 30 signature item, when launching Tortured Souls, Shemira will launch 1 extra at the enemy hero with the lowest health percentage. So it just basically doubles your healing and everything like that. It's really solid. Moving on from that, Soul Sanctuary. Shemira grants herself and the ally with the lowest health percentage of the Soul Sanctuary effect for 5 seconds, prioritizing the backline heroes. The effect dispels most debuffs on the target and grants them immunity to control effects during the effect. While the effect is active, direct damage taken in a single strike from an enemy cannot exceed 60% of the target's current health, and upon taking damage, 1 Tortured Soul will be launched at the attacker. Up to 1 Tortured Soul can be launched during this effect. When the effect ends, the target will be healed for 25% of their lost health. This is just an absolutely cracked ability in my opinion. Pretty solid for survival. When casting the skill, this is going to be your furniture upgrades. When casting the skill, Shemira targets the enemy hero with the highest total damage and generates 1 ephemeral spirit. So we get ephemeral spirits. When Shemira or 2 allied heroes behind her take fatal damage, they will be immune to that damage and will gain the Soul Sanctuary effect. This can be triggered up to 1 times per allied hero per battle. Once again, really cool effect. We're getting cheat deaths. Moving on to the final ability, passive. When an allied hero is defeated, Shemira will delay their death and keep them fighting for up to 5 seconds. If the target is defeated by an enemy hero, the attacker's soul will be pulled out to generate 1 ephemeral spirit. The allied hero will die when the effect ends, or if they are defeated again while the effect is active. This effect can be triggered once per hero. So every hero gets this once, but it's not like completely crazy, I don't think, because they can just get killed again. But then we get the upgrades, which really help, which is the engravings. Upon triggering, the allied hero becomes untargetable and gains immunity to control effects for 2 seconds. This is a really nice effect. And then if the allied defeats an enemy hero while the effect is active, the effect duration is increased by 3 seconds. So you can sort of like go on a last-ditch effort to kill the whole enemy team and keep yourself alive for the whole time before the effect ends, which is pretty cool. And then we got her awakening passive. When an enemy hero suffers a total reduction of 400 energy, or or any effect that prevents energy recovery, Shemira will pull out their soul, granting 1 ephemeral spirit. This effect can be triggered up to 2 times every 12 seconds. The next control effect an allied hero inflicts on an enemy hero will reduce their energy by 100. This effect can be triggered once every 12 seconds per allied hero. Honestly, this is good, but if you got her in a team with another awakened hero, I feel like it might be better to have the other awakened hero, provided that you got something that has the energy reduction, so you can still proc this. As long as you can still proc this, I don't think you 100% need this in a sense. It's not as like must have as other characters like I feel like Sophia, off the top of my head, like a lot of the others really need it. I don't feel like she actually 100% needs it as much as others, but it's still handy to have. All right, let's go ahead. Let's look at her attacks. Put on 1 time speed. She just looks sick. Her animations are sick. Everything's cool. So you can see her punching out those tortured souls. Pew, pew. And here comes the ultimate. Boom. And you can see they're like totems standing next to them, and they just take the AoE damage. And because those tortured souls go through them, it's just like, it's insane. I just feel like she's going to be absolutely cracked. I hope I'm not wrong, because it's Shemira and we all want her to be on top again, but I think they might have overtuned it a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's a basic look at her. And once again, let's jump into this. We don't really need anything else to show you what she can do. But I mean, with all the survivability, the cheat death effects that she has, and then all that healing that she has when she starts punching out those spirits, it's just insane. Because watch her, like, what, you're going to kill me? No, because I'm just going to stay at low health and not really care. And then I'll just ult, punch out a bunch of tortured souls, and then I'll just get all my health back. It's absolutely nuts. I think she's cracked. I definitely want to use her on a fresh account. I want to use her from like chapter 2. And see if you just like ruffle stomp the game harder than you do with Rem. Obviously, Rem will overtake her because Rem, it's easier to get duped up. But dude, I like this kind of shit. I just enjoy it. Anyway, I just shut up now. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.